Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas Smith. I'm the head of business development at Netcapital. Let's give everyone a few moments here to get settled in.
And welcome everybody to Greg Ryder coming at you from San Diego, Escondido, California. Appreciate you showing up. Appreciate your time.
Beautiful San Diego. Greg and I are on opposite sides of the country, but that's the beauty of a virtual workspace where we can connect um, at all times of the day here. And Greg, with that, I want to welcome everyone to today's webinar with your company LaunchCart. Before we get started, I do just want to touch upon a few housekeeping items. As with all of our companies that we host in our webinars, LaunchCart is actively raising capital right now on Netcapital. You can invest in this exciting company by visiting netcapital.com and searching LaunchCart if you're interested in doing so. But for those who are tuning in live, give me a moment here. I just dropped their investment link in the chat. And next, I do want to mention that we want this webinar to be as interactive as possible. So please, when asking questions, use the Q&A function and not the chat, where I just dropped LaunchCart's investment link. It just helps me stay a little bit more organized and get through as many questions as possible. And I know today we have a lot of investors that are joining us that have previously invested in the company, but a lot who have not done so just yet as well. We'll do our best to cover both sides of the aisle, but with that being said, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce Greg Ryder, founder and CEO of LaunchCart. Greg, how are you today?
I'm loving life, man. Loving life, living the dream, of the tech entrepreneur.
No, and it's been really exciting working with you for the past few months. And I remember our first conversation and really saying to myself, just off the first half an hour that we spoke, wow, this is exciting, what you and your team are building. So, how I'd like to start is just giving from so people can hear from you just a brief overview of LaunchCart.
Well, the 30,000-foot view is LaunchCart is a e-commerce digital marketing tech company that has a full suite of software tools to empower entrepreneurs to basically run their online business, um, facilitating everything from e-commerce to product sourcing to a complete customer relationship management and even an artificial intelligence ads platform. So one of the visions that we've been able to put together literally in the last 12 months, even though the vision's been around for years, is this software suite that we believe this is the last software suite that any entrepreneur will ever need to run his entire business, everything from e-commerce, like I said, to running ads online, to calendar scheduling, social media scheduling, reputation management, customer relationship management, just everything. We have this whole suite of tools that we can kind of go up our ascension ladder as you business grows to help run your online business and keep all your customers happy and see all your numbers and communicate email, text message marketing, things of that nature with all your customers. That's the overarching vision, is this software platform. But our USP, our unique thing that we have, is the idea that you have an e-commerce store and you need to source products, or you want to find products and you don't want to have to pay for those products until after you sell them, typically known as drop shipping. We're creating a new category that we call on-demand e-commerce, where an e-commerce seller can expand their product line by sourcing products from the source and sell marketplace. And then this little itty bitty fintech piece of our puzzle that we call banking as a service, that helps facilitate the payment of those goods to the manufacturer's brands by the seller with a hands-off approach. So we're really trying to take the pain points out of e-commerce and sourcing products, and then getting those products fulfilled by the brand or manufacturer. So on the seller side, it's a very unique offering to source products outside of the print-on-demand world, which is very prevalent, because we're dealing with real products and real brands. And then on the benefit on the brand side, we're giving the brands an entirely new distribution channel. And of course, I have some really good examples I can share with everybody. We got some show and tell that we can show and tell everybody. But that's it from a 30,000-foot level.
Really appreciate that, Greg. And one of the things that stuck out to me from the very beginning is the team that you've been able to put together around you. Can you talk about a couple of the key stakeholders in LaunchCart?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to share my screen real quick because I actually have, let me see if I can go to here. Boom, boom. Let me go ahead and pull that up because that is important. We recognize that as great as the vision is, you're betting on the team. It's the team that's going to help execute the plan. And in this screenshot, this is our team that was part of the platform, on the Netcapital page. It starts with Bernd Ullman, who's a business partner and a board member. And Bernd is the guy that we call him the man behind the brands because he literally has done billions of dollars worth of deals and transactions as CEO and president. And he was the former, I think he was like a vice president of Donna Karan, and he opened up Donna Karan stores worldwide. Then he was hired by Damon John, the people shark from Shark Tank, way back when Damon was doing FUBU. And he was the president of FUBU International. And we got a great video testimony of Damon crediting Burnt with scaling his company from 100 million to $400 million. And great career there. Then he was hired away by a private equity firm who had just acquired the Russell Simmons brand, Baby Fat, and his wife, Coralie Simmons at the time, and Fat Farm and Baby Fat. And then he helped scale that brand where it did about $800 million in sales. And then from there, he was hired by Tommy Hilfiger, and he was the CEO and president of a company called Star Branding, where stars can be brands. And while at the CEO of that business with Tommy Hilfiger, they launched Jennifer Lopez, Nicki Minaj, Adam Levine. They did collections with the Rolling Stones, American Idol. I mean, his resume is just incredibly off the charts. And so when I shared this vision with him way back in 2019 about this idea of having our own source and sell marketplace integrated with a SaaS platform that we could have something that I don't believe anyone else in the world has, he loved that idea. So he's been on board. And now that we finally have the Launch Collective and the Source and Sell Marketplace built, done, and integrated, up and running right now today, which if you read the crowdfunding page, that was, we were talking about it, but it's now running. He could really be a benefit to us by bringing brands to the table, celebrities to the table, and influencers and people that I say you can sprinkle the little magic, the celebrity pixie dust on it to help get brand recognition and get stuff from there. And then for me, for those of you who really don't know my background, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 18, actually 16 years old. I got my securities license when I was 21 years old. I ended up buying the firm I worked for at the age around 21, 22. And I was hailed as the youngest owner of investment bank in the history of the country. And that was one of my first big mistakes in life. But I've always been an early adopter. I've helped raise a lot of money. I understand capital markets. I understand capital formation. I understand wealth through equity. So that's kind of a unique thing about me. But when I retired from that industry, I got into the internet business. And in 1997, I bought an ISP. I went from there. I bought one of the very first e-commerce malls. In 1997, I had this vision for e-commerce, and I bought one of the very first malls online. It was called FirstNet Mall. And anyway, fast forward, I have, 20, 30 years of online experience. I consider myself a digital marketing expert, and I just love doing what I do. And I just love the internet. I love e-commerce. I love commerce and everything about digital marketing. And then Jeff, who is actually our chief operations officer and one of our board advisors, or one of our board members, as well as our lead investor. And Jeff is here. Can Jeff talk to? Are you available to talk, Jeff?
Yep, I'm here. Just not trying to take the stage away from you at all, Greg, but I'm absolutely here.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and talk about your career and your background and how you're relevant to us taking this to where it needs to go?
Yeah, so just very briefly, I started my career running a nuclear power plant on a submarine in the Navy. Left that, went into Fortune 500 risk management and financial consulting, and that led into doing a lot of innovation and technology projects and startups and investing at the corporate level, where we would find, acquire, invest in, or partner with a lot of technology startups. And that led into over $1 billion in capital transactions that I was involved with throughout my career. I left that in 2018 after meeting Greg, and we've been partners ever since and helping to build this dream.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. No, and I got to tell you, working with military and former military is one of my favorite things. They're so disciplined, they're so thorough at what they do, and they're just great. And I was talking to somebody earlier today. I said, There's no one on this planet that has the skill sets Jeff Barnes has. Not only has he got the skill sets in the technology and then engineering side, but he also went to marketing and got his Dan Kennedy certification, his ClickFunnels certification, and all kinds of certifications. He understands marketing, so that's why we resonate so much, because he understands my marketing think and he knows how to put it into action with the technology. So it's super exciting.
Right.
And then the next guy is Joshua Ryder. That's my oldest son. And Josh is just a guy he's just a wicked smart young kid who started his career on the internet. He was teaching internet and web design as a senior in high school when the teacher didn't know how to teach how to build web pages. And he was building, at that time, he had over 400 websites as a senior in high school. And he was getting paid by Google for Google Ads. And they called him AdSense Young Gun. And he was generating over $10,000 a month as a senior in high school. So he's been the director of our technology, and he's led our team to develop our technology from the day we launched the company till today. And he's just it's just such a joy to work with your son and to have him be such a competent person and kind of understands the internet and kind of how that all works. And then on my far right is Percy Miller. Percy Miller is currently our chairman of the board. He's been a friend of mine for over 10, 15 years. And he's one of the few people on planet Earth that can say he sold 100 million albums. And he's a former rapper, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and now businessman. He's one of the most respected African-American businessmen that I know of in the industry. And he's on as our chairman of the board with the idea to help us take this to the next level and expose us to markets that we possibly couldn't get exposed to. So that's like the core on the executive management currently. We also have a few board of advisors that I think are worth mentioning. We have brand ambassadors, which I haven't listed here, but we have board of advisors. I do want to mention Bertrand Nocella. Also has invested in the crowdfunding campaign. He's been with Google for 16 years, and he runs a division with their UI interface, and he's just a great resource. He's on all of our calls. We do calls every 2 weeks, so everyone who invests, you're going to be getting invited to shareholder calls that we do every 2 weeks. I call them stand-up calls, where we just share with you the good, the bad, the ugly. You're walking through this. You're a brand ambassador. You're a shareholder. You deserve to know what's going on, and you'll be getting invited to those calls. And he shows up to all the calls. And he's always lending value and always helping us and suggesting and giving his advice as a 16-year-old veteran at Google. And then Chris Shreenak in the middle. He's a former AWS, or not former. He works for AWS, Amazon Web Services. And Chris met with me a few years back, came here to Escondido, and he said, Greg, I work at Amazon and I talk to e-commerce companies all over the world. And he goes, what you have just outlined to me, I don't know anyone doing what you're doing. That was his words to me back in like 2020, 2021. And here we are in 2024. We actually have built what I laid out to him. And one of the things that he wants to be, or we think he could be strategic, is we're working on, through him, to license Amazon's predictive analytics. So as you're leveraging our technology, when you shop on Amazon, it says people who bought this also bought this, this, and this. Well, that technology is called personalized, and companies like us can actually license it. And they don't get access to any of our data. They don't get access to anything. We just get access to their code. And we got to figure out some of the best, predictive analytics code in the world. So we think by licensing that code, as well as some of our own AI technology, we'll have a search engine optimization platform. I mean, not just an e-commerce platform that won't compare with, no one can compete with us, but that's the visionary of the entrepreneur. And then on the right, Keith Newman, an angel investor who's been strategic in referring people to us and he invested in himself, of course, and helping us everywhere, every step along the way. And that's the basis of our team that I wanted to share with everybody. And I think that answers your question, Tom, to kind of give everyone an idea of the team that we have, the foundation now. Now it's about this capital coming in and taking this thing to the whole next level.
Greg, really appreciate that. And Jeff, thank you for sharing your background, and thank you for your service. I think when, we think of LaunchCart, Greg, and you have so much going on, really, I think it's important to narrow in on the problem that your company's solving, so folks can hear it from you.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So, and part of the challenge for everybody listening is that we're solving problems on two sides of the fence. So let's talk about the problems on the one side of the fence, and that means the seller. I invented a widget, right? Let's say I invented this robot right here. I got a little AI robot here. Let's say I invented this AI robot and I want to sell it online. I need a technology so I can take pictures of it, put a description, put it online and sell it online. So right now, the number one company that facilitates that is Shopify. And last I looked at Shopify's filings, they had about 4.4 million customers and they're a $100 billion market cap. And they're the big players in town that fill that need. Shopify was built on what we call an app technology, where you get what I call the basic service. And then you want to do customer reviews. You got to go to their app store. You got to search for an app. You got to find the app. You got to click on the app. You got to install the app, and you have to pay extra for the app. And then you say, well, I want to do exit pop-ups for name acquisition. I want to be able to collect names and emails and have a newsletter. Well, you got to go to their app store, search for an app, look for an app, find an app, click the app, install the app, and then pay extra for the app. And I could just say that over and over and over and over again. And suffice it to say, when we were working with celebrities, one of the stores we launched was for Bethany Frankel. And when we launched that store, the bill was $1,800 a month after installing 25 apps. It was incredible because they nickel and dime you. It's like the banks and the just like and the California gas. There's a tax for this, a tax for that. But that's the whole idea. So when we said, let's create a competitor launch card and let's build into launch card what we call the must-haves. And to me, the must-haves are things like custom reviews. You literally cannot have a successful e-commerce site in today's market without having custom reviews. That's a must-have feature. You must have an exit pop and the ability to capture names and emails of site visitors, not site buyers. So you can build your list, build rapport with them, and get them to buy down the future. That's a must-have feature. So we built in what we call the must-have features natively into our platform, so you don't have to go to the app store and get an app and pay extra for that app. That's part A. So part B to that is we said, well, what are the should-haves? And as a digital marketing expert who's done tens of millions of dollars of sales online, we wanted to have tools that help me increase my average order value. And they're called order bumps. They're called long form sales pages, and they're called upsells and downsells. Now, again, those apps cost extra money and had to be installed on Shopify. So we built those in natively. So we believe one of our unique selling propositions on LaunchCart side is it's easier to use than Shopify, because Shopify does a million things. We don't do a million things, but we also have these should-haves and must-haves built into the pie. So that's what's attracted over 51,000 people to build a store on our platform. Oh, and one more thing. We also have a freemium model, meaning that you can come to LaunchCart right now today, go sign up for a day for free, and create a store for free and start selling for free, and then we take 6% of your sales. And then the idea is, as you get to where you're making $1,000 or $2,000 a month, you start paying more. You don't want to pay that 6% anymore. You can jump to our typical SaaS model, and grow. Pay your monthly fee. Where Shopify doesn't answer that question, or doesn't offer that. Okay, so now that's the LaunchCart SaaS side of things. And then the one other problem is product sourcing. So we got into drop shipping from China, which you guys have all watched the video. We had the China debacle, where China we sold 400,000 people a product, but China only delivered 350,000. And Jeff and I were there. We're giving 50,000 refunds. It was a terrible, terrible thing to happen, but we got through it, and here we are today. So we're like, we want to solve that problem of product sourcing and payment for those products, and making sure the order gets flowed to the right thing, and bringing real reputable brands into this marketplace of direct-to-consumer drop shipping. And that's what we've accomplished as of today, okay? And how do we do that? That's with the Source and Sell Marketplace. And the Source and Sell Marketplace is a B2B marketplace that integrates with LaunchCart, that allows brands and manufacturers to add their catalog of products to the marketplace and allow other people to either apply to sell those products or just to sell those products. So some brands go, oh, you have to apply. I'm not going to let everybody like Groovy Grandma selling my Volcom, clothes or whatever. So there's an application process for some, and there's other companies, like we have a flag company. He's like, anybody can sell my flags. I don't care. So you can go into the marketplace, click a button, and you can add products to your store. So you're sourcing products to sell from your store, but you do not have to pay for inventory, and you do not have to fulfill it, and you don't have to pay for that product. Our system will take the money out of your bank account, pay for the product, and then the manufacturer brand will drop ship that product to your customer. So it's really two distinct tech stacks together that really give us something significant that, like I said, as far as I know, no one in the world has that. So those are the problems that we're solving. And I'll just touch that one more from a different angle. Our middleware, the source and sell marketplace, I call it a piece of middleware. It's really like a wholesale management tool. So let's say I have my little robot widget here and I want to sell this and I have a wholesale pricing and you go, I want to sell it. Our technology facilitates that. It facilitates the ability for you to list this robot on your store on a wholesale basis, but you don't have to pay for it up front. You only pay for it after you sell it. And we take that money out of your bank account. We facilitate that. So I hope that answers your question, Tom. But that's the overarching problems that we're solving for the sellers on one side and the brands and manufacturers on the other side.
Greg, it does, and I just think it's so important that people hear it from you, and because no one, in my opinion, articulates this better than you. So I really appreciate you diving in. And with that, I think it's a good time to pause, and Greg, for you to jump in and show a little bit of the product being used.
Okay, let me do that. Let me share my screen again, and I've been working on a new deck that I want to show. See, is it this one? This one. So here's like a visual aid, right? So you got the Launch Cart SaaS, you got the Source and Sell Marketplace, which is under Launch Collective, which is the company that we acquired. We have over 200 brands in this marketplace. And then you have the banking as a service. And then these tools underneath support this, the Launch Cart CRM, Launch Academy, Launch Ads, and Launch Leads. They support that model. And let me see if I can, let me get this one. I got all kinds of decks going on. So let me show you another screenshot. Is it this one? I got too many PowerPoints going on. I think it's this one. Yeah. So slideshow from current slide. So the idea is that we meet a brand or a manufacturer, right? And let's say they're on Shopify. Well, we now have a Shopify connection, which is really interesting. Shopify is a competitor, but they're also going to be our best source of customers, okay? Because we can go to Shopify sellers right now and go, hey, Shopify sellers, do you want to expand your distribution? Do you want to have a wholesale channel that you didn't have? Or do you want to make your existing wholesale channel more efficient? And we can connect to Shopify stores, and the click of a button, their products are now loaded into our marketplace. So we're actually pulling their products, their product descriptions, their product titles out of their existing Shopify store and into our marketplace. We also integrate with one of the other leading players in the e-commerce space, BigCommerce, another public company with a very, very large market cap. We also can connect to those stores and pull their products out and push them into the marketplace. Now, once those are all in the marketplace, now we can basically push those products back into another Shopify store. So at this point, they're paying us fees, we'll make transaction fees, we'll make money, and no one's even using LaunchCart at this point. Or we can push them back into a BigCommerce store, or we can push them into a LaunchCart store. Okay, so that's like a new screen that I put together. I'm working on. It's actually, the animation wasn't quite that good. Okay, so now I want to show you the real technology. And again, as I go through this demo and show and tell, you're going to see some stuff. So I just logged into my personal account, and this is my back office where I get into the screen. And the first thing you can notice is I've got the 4-day challenge. I have Blessed Abundance. I got demo launch shops. I got demo store. I got Dope Mamas. You can see on Dope Mamas, I'm a staff member. And Golf Influencer, I'm a staff member. So we have what we call multi-store management. Multi-store management. And then from here, I can just click on Manage a Store. And now I can go in and manage that one store. That was another really cool feature that at the time Shopify did not offer, a multi-store management, not like ours. And now you're in the back office, you're in the dashboard as if you're in like anything else. And you can create your new products, you can create your categories, you can create your sales and coupons, you can manage your inventory, you can look at your reviews, you can see your orders, customers, it's everything here. And I'm not going to go through all that, but I'll just show you what this store looks like. So this is our own personal merch store. And basically, and one of the things that we focus on and we're a sweet spot is this is all what we call print on demand or manufacture on demand. So this store was built. Next, I'm going to show you a new client real quick. Here's a new client. So this, I'm going to show you something. This is awesome. So this store right here, let me go to the homepage, is a new client. It's called the Players Impact, and it's an organization of 700 professional athletes, and they invest together, and they're looking to invest in LaunchCart and be a part of what we're doing. But this store, the foundation for this store, the logo, the colors, the navigation bar, I've got a t-shirt, I've got a Camelback water bottle, I got a shaker pint glass. I built this store in less than 30 minutes, 45 minutes. This entire store in 45 minutes. You can't do that anywhere else. Not that I know of anyway. And so that's kind of part of our sweet spot is we do that. And this is all print on demand. Like that image right there of that guy running, that's technology. That's technology that we use that makes it look like we did a photo shoot. We didn't do a photo shoot. We took the logo and we put it on this merchandise, and it looks like we did a photo shoot, but we didn't. You can see the shadows, you can see the wrinkles in the hoodie, and it looks like we did a photo shoot, but we didn't. So literally, these guys could be making sales right now, and I only spent 45 minutes on the store. And let me give you a few more examples of that. So here's one of my favorite stores to show right here, Emily and Cooper. So this is a really good example. So this lady wrote some children's books, and she had these children's books. And then we said, well, how would you like to offer some apparel and some drinkware and some accessories to go with your children's books? She goes, oh, no, I can't afford that. I don't have money for inventory. I can't do shipments. We said, oh, no, this is print on demand. This is manufacture on demand. So we took her little characters from her kids' books and we put it on a baby, a little onesie. We put on a little toddler shirts. We put on a little tote bag. And now she has a store, and this store, she shared this store with some people she's working on as far as doing some animated films. And boom, she says she thinks she might get an animated film contract because this store made her look bigger than she is. And this is what our technology does. And there's that exit pop I was telling you about that pops up, offering name acquisition, and then the book. So that's one example. I'll give you one more. Let's see if we to a lot of people, churches are another good, churches and foundations. So here's a faith-based apparel store. And again, none of these product exists. None of these were photo shoots, but yet this lady has her Kingdom Light, one of our clients, her store's up and running, and she's making money, and everything's print on demand, manufacture on demand. So there's some just examples of that side of things. Now, let me go to another side of things. I'm going to show you San Diego. So San Diego is one of our clients for the Source and Sell marketplace. Okay. Now San Diego, if I was to Google San Diego, it'll show me, they have retail locations around San Diego. Actually, it's not showing me, hey, we need to get these guys on a Google My Business. But anyway, see, there's your exit pop you got to pay extra for on Shopify. This is a Shopify store. They've been on Shopify. So they have their own products, their own men's products, their own women's products. They have their own retail outlets, and they actually buy inventory and they put it in retail. And then when somebody buys it online, they also ship from retail. But they wanted to expand their products and their offering. So if you go here and you shop on here and you go to, like, say men's, and you say men's shorts, you're going to come on here and you're going to say you're looking for shorts, and you're going to find that some of these shorts, did I click that button? Some of these shorts are being served up from our marketplace. They actually don't have it in inventory. So we're giving the ability for retailers, online sellers, to expand their product distribution, their product sourcing, without having to pay for inventory up front, and yet create a distribution channel for this brand. Now, one other thing, we're in the conversations. This is not a done deal yet, but just to give you an idea of the kind of companies we're talking to. Can I type it? So Tilly's has recently reached out to us, and they're another retailer that have retail stores, but they do a lot of business online, and they want to use our technology to give them more products that they can add to their online store without having to pay for inventory up front. And then our technology routes the orders to the right place. So this is, again, a technology stack that big companies are now talking to us because of what we have with this launch cart and the source and sell marketplace. And with the source and sell marketplace and launch cart, we can go after, like in the example on my video on the page for the crowdfunding campaign, I give that example of the Golf Digest. We're going out. We went to the PGA show and we're pitching PGA. We're pitching golf brands on a regular basis, and our goal is to leverage our technology to bring golf brands onto the source to sell marketplace, and then go to every golf course in the country and go, hey, we can build you an e-commerce store. Well, I don't want an e-commerce store. I can't ship things. I don't. No. No inventory costs. No fulfillment headaches. We're going to put your logo here. You're going to have these brands here. You're going to tell your membership people, you're going to tell all your people you have a store, you're going to link it to your existing website, and anything that gets bought, you're going to make a commission. And we think that's just like a no-brainer for a lot of country clubs and a lot of golf courses going, why wouldn't they do it? Pay us $300 a month and they get a store and they make profit with no inventory, no fun. And you can just think about niche after niche after niche after niche where you can go with that. And with this middleware and the ability to pull products from Shopify, pull products from BigCommerce, pull products from other places and push them out, that's kind of what we want to do. And that's our big vision. And we think that's what's going to give us a good foothold in the marketplace.
Great. What an unbelievable opportunity for folks just say starting out with a business when obviously cost of doing business is already high. And then there's established brands, like you said, to keep their inventory down, keep their purchase orders in check. And it's just, it really taps both sides of the marketplace.
No, it really does. And that's the unique thing about it. And then I'm going to share my screen one more time because I want to show you that this is not play stuff. This is real stuff here. So let me go here. So I'm going to log into an account on Launch Collective. So if I come in here and I go to products, and I go to product lists and product filters, I'm going to go to brand access. So this is it. This is the source and sell marketplace right here. RVCA, board writers, On a Mission, Spy. Spy's a huge brand. Rayon's a big brand. Billabong. That's $1 billion brands, these guys, right? Rip Curl, Volcom. You guys have heard of these brands. And look at this. We got 17 pages of brands. I think there's over 220 brands in here, of which about 120 are real active. And then people can request access to sell these brands. So it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing of what we have accessible to our sellers. And for us to be able to say, who wants to sell DC shoes? Well, there's a lot of people that might want to sell DC shoes. Who wants to sell Body Glove? Who wants to sell O'Neill? Right? So we have another group that we're talking to that also wants to take us, and they want to start selling done-for-you stores to all the mom and pop skateboard and surfboard shops around the globe. Because believe it or not, there are still surfboard and skateboard shops around the globe that don't even have an e-commerce website. Why? Because they don't have the ability to pick, pack, and fulfill. Whereas they have their website and they're selling stuff from their store, but they don't have an e-commerce store. So we have the ability to go to them and go, hey, for a couple grand, we can build you the store, plug it into your site, pay a couple $100 a month, and boom, now you're up and going. And with all the brands they're already selling. It's really, really a unique offering that doesn't exist in the marketplace as far as we know.
Greg, it's fascinating. And so backing into the market for a launch card and everything that the different divisions that it encompasses, how big is the marketplace for the company?
Oh, that's a good one. So let me go back to my PowerPoint. Let me see. Yeah, let me go ahead and I'll just show you the screens because I have the charts. So I kind of like to talk about it in a couple different ways. You have the total addressable market, which is expected to be 7.4 trillion by the end of next year. 7.4 trillion. And then you have what I'm going to call the serviceable available market, which is who we're going after now, and that's the drop shipping market. And they're talking about 476 billion. And again, 27% of all online retailers are now doing some form of drop shipping. Okay. Now, as a little side note, The global marketplace, and now this number 3.32 trillion or 3.23 trillion, this is like Amazon, Etsy, and Walmart, those kind of marketplaces. So we don't have that kind of marketplace, but we power those kind of marketplaces. We can create with our technology a Walmart.com competitor, a multi-vendor website. We can compete with that, right? And then you say, okay, going back to that serviceable addressable market, we say how many sellers are on Amazon. Most people don't know that Amazon is really made up of 9,100,000 entrepreneurs who they source products from China or they source products from a branded manufacturer. They take their time and energy and they list it on Amazon. 9 million sellers on Amazon, 5 million on Etsy, another marketplace, 3 million on WooCommerce, 4.4 million on Shopify, and eBay is another market, 18 million on eBay. That's a total of 39,500,000 sellers. We say, okay, 27% of those are already doing drop shipping. We don't have to educate them. We don't have to teach them. We says, hey, we have better offering or we have different products. That's 10 million customers that we want to go after. That's kind of what's going on. And then over here on the dropship suppliers, we're literally competing against Ali Dropship. Who is that? China. Modalist. Who's that? They mostly do China. Orblo, China. Miracal is like European. That's one of our bigger, more wholesale type drop shippers. And actually, Miracal came out with a report that said 42 sellers who leverage drop shipping properly and product extension through this marketplace, multi-vendor marketplace strategy increased their revenues by 42%. So that's kind of the market size and where we're going and what we have to offer and what we're taking a little piece of that pie. And then again, to put that in numbers, Shopify, $100 billion market cap, 4.4 million customers. Name me another multi-billion-dollar company that only has 4 million customers. I mean, you think about how many customers Facebook has, how many customers Google has, how many customers Twitter has, X, all these different, all of them, they're in the hundreds of millions of customers or tens of millions of customers. So in the e-commerce space, you don't have to have a lot of customers to really get to that unicorn status, right? And again, there's always the risk that we go out of business, we don't make it. Everyone who, and I say this all the time, if you're going to invest in our company, you got to put it away, save it, but you got to understand there's risks in investing. But we have that risk return. We have what I call the risk reducers, right? Because the risk reducers are we're up and running. We have proof of market concept. We have technology that's super cool that, like I said, maybe someone else has it, but I sure haven't seen it. And if you find it, let me know, right? We have a board of directors that's incredible. Like the two of those guys on our board of directors are billion-dollar guys. So we have these risk reducers in place, and we're just poised to just leverage, the investment capital and use it to grow our company.
Yeah, Craig, and I thought that was well said, right? No guarantees, but what you're building is extremely exciting. And for those, just to reiterate, that want the opportunity to kind of see what the open investment opportunity is right now, netcapital.com/launchcart, and you can check out everything on their offering page. I apologize, my dog wanted to say hello to you, Greg.
We love dogs. We're launching I just literally right before this call, literally like I said, I got to get off this call. Matter of fact, you might be listening. I said, I got to get this call. We have a new client on LaunchCart that got canceled off Shopify, which this is an interesting thing. Shopify is so big, they cancel people all the time. They cancel people that are legally selling CBD products, legally selling nutritional supplements, conservatives, Republicans. It's just amazing. They cancel people. But anyway, he got canceled off Shopify, moved over to LaunchCart, and he has over 100 pet products that he's going to list in our marketplace and allow our sellers to sell pet supplements and pet vitamins and pet shampoos and pet products. And it's like, what a great niche and a great vertical. And so many stores would love to sell pet products without having to pay for inventory up front and route the orders right back to him. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, well, Loki got excited there, so go figure about everything that we're talking about. So, Greg, backing into the business model, you guys are making money on a couple of different streams, but can you just break it down into layman terms, the business model for LaunchCart in terms of how you're generating income, and then any future plans for that?
Yeah. So that's a really good question too. So let me see. Yep. I'll use my visual because this was all on the crowdfunding too, but let me use the visual right here. So I'm going to go from current slide. So we're a typical SaaS company where we take subscription and transaction fees. So we have SaaS subscription fees that range from $27 a month to $297 a month. And we actually have a new plan coming out that's going to be $497 a month. Then, as I mentioned earlier, we do take transaction fees on sales made that people that use our freemium members. That's 6% of sales. And then futuristically, once we get our banking as a service and all those different things, we'll have other ways to make money offering bank accounts and debit cards and loans and things of that nature. Because again, where we want to go with our fintech piece is you sign up for your launch car store, you get a bank account, and now we can help you pay your bills and loan you money and everything else. And everyone's getting into the space in the e-commerce world. Then you say, okay, the source and sell marketplace is also subscription and transaction fees. So we take transaction fees on all products sourced through the marketplace that will range from 3% to 15%. And depending on the big the brand is, how big name the brand is, it might be 3% and it might be 15% if it's like an as seen on TV thing and they want that distribution. We'll negotiate the best deals we can, with an average being probably 7 to 10%. And then what we'll do is we'll also offer subscription fees to gain discounts on transaction fees. So if you say, hey, I'll pay you guys $297 a month, but I want the 3% transaction fees rather than the 7% or the 10% transaction fees. So we're going to incorporate a subscription model into the source and sell marketplace as well. And then we charge integration fees and subscriptions by brands and manufacturers. So a brand comes to me and they say, hey, we want to onboard my 100 pet products into your marketplace, and we want you to offer these pet products to all your sellers and all your people. Then we're going to charge a $5,000 a year fee to maintain that and maintain that technology for them to have access to do that and to have access to our technology. And then from time to time, we'll offer, hey, instead of $5,000, you can maybe go $497 a month, but there'll be some fees to integrate brands into the marketplace. And then our third thing, which is a really big thing for us, because like you said, Thomas, is that we offer entrepreneurs the ability to get a business up and running and start selling stuff with no money up front, no fulfillment costs, all that kind of stuff, right? So we want to teach people how to make money online. We want to teach people digital marketing strategies. We want to empower people to make money leveraging our technology stack. So we have digital marketing training products that sell for between $47 and $3,000. And then we also have done for you e-commerce stores. So you come to me and you say, hey, Netcapital wants its own merch store, but we don't want to build it. Can you build it for us, Greg? We charge between $497 to $3,000 and we'll build a store for you, right? And then of course we have our Launch Shops agency certification program where we certify people to be store builders, and we have a big training. We have a 7-week training course, and we teach people and train people how to be expert store builders on our platform and how to use our platform. And right now we have over 61 people that have invested in that program. So that's our revenue stream as we sit right now today. And with the investment dollars, we're just going to start advertising and letting the world know we exist and bringing more people in the top of the funnel and growing our base that way.
Greg, I really appreciate you you going over that. We have a lot of people. I don't know if there's potential customers on, but a lot of people seem to be dropping brands in our chat, in our Q&A. So is there an email that folks could get in touch with you with?
The best email is support@launchcart.com. Support@launchcart.com. And then if you just say, hey, I need to talk to Greg, the support desk will assign that ticket to me, and then I'll follow up with you. And by the way, I was telling somebody earlier today, I do support on a regular basis because I feel like our customers and their satisfaction, if we're not serving them, if we're not answering their questions, if we're not getting them taken care of, we're not doing our job. So I feel as a CEO that I want all of our executive management to participate in support, and I want to see support because if I see those issues, then we know what to fix. And the support desk is the number one thing that you should always look at when you're maybe buying a company or doing something, because that always tells the real story.
Got it.
As well as the reviews. I want to ask everybody, go to Google, type in launch space cart reviews, and you go see the 5-star reviews we have. It's awesome.
Yep. No, Greg, and I remember going through the onboarding process together, and I was looking at that, and I was like, this is amazing. I appreciate, I believe it was Justin who put the email address in the chat. So we're getting a lot of feedback live, so I appreciate you sharing that, and I think you're going to get some customers from this, and also folks that had a couple questions that they wanted to double click on, but take offline. Greg, as we come up on the hour here, Can you talk about goals for 2024? You've accomplished so much last year when we started working together, but going into this year, what's on tap and what's on the horizon for the business? And I guess what are you most excited about?
Well, it's such a good question. And I'm a very transparent person. I think of my friend of mine wrote a book called The Transparent Leader. Um, and what we want to accomplish this year really depends a lot about funding, right? So we're getting ready to launch our Series A. We're going to close this down and we're launching our Series A the day after this is closed down. And depending on how much money we raise in the Series A dictates what we're going. But on the with what we have now, where we're going, we're hoping to be able to do 4 million in revenue this year. So that's up from 200,000, 300,000 last year. So we want to be a big hockey stick this year. And the reason why is we're now in that marketing mode and we now have the integration with launch cards done. It's up, it's working. People are using it right now today. So now we have a conversation piece. We have a talking point. We can onboard customers that we could never do before. So we're like, hey, we think we can get to that $4 million in revenues. And a lot of that's going to be with um, one-time fees of building stores for people or onboarding brands into the marketplace. And then our ARR will also go up with our reoccurring revenues as well. And if we get the funding, my goal is to get us to $1 million of ARR this year, and possibly 2 million of ARR this year, because we can do it very fast. Once people see what we have and who we are, and let me give you another little stat. I came across this the other day. I found this stat from the Miracle report that in the first quarter of January 2023, there was 135,000 drop ship stores opened.
Wow.
135,000 drop ship stores opened. Now, if those drop shippers knew about us and that they could get access to real brands, real products, not shipped from China, but shipped from the United States of America, how many of those might want to entertain opening up a store with LaunchCart, considering we have order bumps and upsells and downsells and the things that we offer as well? I think a pretty good percentage of them. We just got to let the world know that we have them. And I think we can onboard, 50, 100,000 new customers very quickly with the advertising budget. So that's most of our capital that we're raising is going into advertising and marketing. And then we're going to continue to build our tech team and continue to build features and enhance our UI and things of that nature to make a better customer experience.
Yep. And Greg, I love that, right? You're creating the hockey stick curve, and I think it's exciting, especially where the company's going. And I felt this from when we talked, and I can hear it today, just the passion and the affinity that you have for the space and your experience and what you've been able to apply to LaunchCard. So I appreciate you covering that. As we wrap up here, obviously, we'll say this again. Invest. This is early stage financing, and only invest in what you're comfortable investing. But in the last couple minutes, why should folks consider investing in LaunchCard today?
Really, it's about empowering entrepreneurs and helping perpetuate free enterprise and capitalism. So if you're one of those that really kind of believes in free enterprise and capitalism, which probably you wouldn't be on this call if you didn't, you wouldn't be even looking at Netcapital if you didn't. We're a company that enables people to get in business. And with our tools and our CRM and our advertising platforms and everything we're doing, we're really giving people tools, enable them to be successful online. And we're great at what we do. We have great trainers, great teachers, great coaches and mentors. And it really is a fantastic thing. So that's kind of interesting.
Well,
Okay,
Greg,
so I just saw that comment. I got to share this. This is funny. So he says, "Why isn't when I Google your business, I see Burger Bench?" Okay, so I just shared my screen. So Burger Bench is my neighbor. So if you were to blow that up and you blow this map up, you're going to see the Burger Bench is like 4 blocks down. So here's Launch Cart, and then
that's funny.
Burger Bench is down the road here. But you don't see it. But that's what that is. But there's our building right there. You can see our building. We're
That's
real business. I've been in this building for 14 years. I've been married for 38 years. I have 5 kids. I'm an empty nester. I eat, sleep, and live Launch Cart. And you can talk to anybody who knows me.
That's no
Uh,
exaggeration at all. I talk to Greg every single day, multiple times a day, and yeah, he works harder than anyone I know.
Well, and Jeff, just to parlay off that, so I'm on the East Coast, just north of Boston. Greg is in beautiful San Diego, and I remember my first couple interactions with him. I would, go through the day before and then fire out emails in the morning. sometimes 6:30, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, and Greg would get back to me. I'm just, it was amazing. So, Greg, I so appreciate you coming on today, and Jeff, thank you as well. But Greg, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to work with you and really seeing the progression over the last couple of months to today, and really, really, really excited to see where the future of your business is going. And one last time for everyone who's listening live and those who are listening in the future, if you're interested in investing in LaunchCart today, you can visit netcapital.com/launchcart and review what Greg and his team are building further. Greg, any last words before we wrap up?
You know what I want to do? I want to play a new video. I want to play a 1 minute, 20-second video if I can.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Well, can I play the sound? It's not letting me check that sound button. Why is it not letting me check that sound button? Select this option if you want others to hear the sound. Huh. Let's see if you hear the sound.
Let's try it.
Nope.
You can't hear the sound.
Yeah, it's not letting me. It wasn't letting me. You know, when you do share it, there's like a little tick box to share the sound, but it's like not letting me tick it.
Greg,
It's
is that
weird.
video available anywhere? Or is that in-house at the moment?
No, I just put on YouTube yesterday. So this is our very first explainer video for Launch Collective and the Source and Sell Marketplace. I'll just put it in here. You guys can go watch it. It's 1 minute 20 seconds long, and it's just, I'm happy because as an entrepreneur, I've been talking about this dream since 2019, and now it's live, it's up, and that's our first explainer video. And our video editor did a fantastic job. It's clean. It tells a little bit of story in 1 minute 29 seconds. It's awesome. So anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody. We appreciate you. We appreciate your trust in us. This is closing out. Please share it with everybody you know. Just share that link. Let everyone know. You can hit the follow us, and you're going to get some more updates the rest of this week. Anything else that's going on, and then share it with everybody. And then once, how's it work when this is over? When do I get all the names so we can add them to our list and invite them to our shareholders calls?
Yeah. So, Greg, we'll go over that in the offboarding, but anyone who invests will have the opportunity to interact with you, receive any invitation that they want. One of the beauties is that constant line of communication. And I know you want to be high touch with folks. So I think the investors will really benefit from that. And if someone's investing in your business, they want to keep in touch. So, Greg, I think that will work. It will be a great experience, I think, for folks.
Yep, absolutely. And you might want to start your own store yourself.
Yeah, no, it's you had a couple folks come to mind that are newly starting different brands, and I just think it's a great option. Like you said, with some of the newer folks that are starting out and building businesses, and as well as bigger companies that have established brands. I think you hit both sides of the aisle here, Greg, and I'm really excited to see where your company's going. And one last time, netcapital.com/launchcart if anyone's interested in investing today. Greg, thank you so much for joining us. I know how busy you are. Jeff, thank you for your time. And just want to echo again, we're looking forward to the future of LaunchCart. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas.